Hi, it's Megan. Welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be sharing with you a little bit about how we are going to be starting off our homeschool this year. I'm going to share with you the curriculums that I'm going to be using for my daughters. I have one daughter who is 5, about to turn 6, doing first grade work, and I have a 2-year-old who is going to be doing preschool with us here at home. So I just wanted to kind of show you the curriculum that we have, some of the arts and crafts supplies that we have, and I'm going to show you a little tour of kind of our homeschool area that we have in our main living area, and just kind of how we incorporate that into our daily life and our daily schedule. So let's turn the camera around and I will start by showing you some of the curriculum that we have and some of the new arts and crafts supplies that I got for this school year. So for language arts and handwriting, and for my math as well, for my 5-year-old who is doing first grade level work, we are going to be using The Good and the Beautiful. So for her handwriting, I just got the handwriting level 1 book. This is something we've done some of the sample pages from The Good and the Beautiful. Something I really like about The Good and the Beautiful is that their math curriculum and their language arts curriculum is completely free for a digital PDF download. So you can download it, print it, see if you like it, make sure that you want to use it before you actually spend the money on it, or you could just do it completely free if you wanted to just print it home. For me, I looked at the cost to see how much it would be to print it home and bind it, and it was only a few dollars cheaper for The Good and the Beautiful to print it and mail it to me. So for me, it was worth it, the extra money, to not spend my time printing it. And we also have done some of the samples of the handwriting lessons from the pre-K up through kindergarten level, and my daughter has liked them and has done really well with them, so I decided to just start with the level 1. The Good and the Beautiful also has placement tests for their language arts and their math, so that you know exactly which level they should be on. So to start out with the handwriting, here's just a little bit of what it looks like. I like that it starts out with just reviewing. They really do start their handwriting basically with working on those fine motor skills. So they're doing things like tracing wiggling lines, making shapes, doing little smaller movements, doing sharper movements, doing curvy movements, doing diagonals and zigzags. And those help the children, once they get to forming actual letters, they can actually practice. They've done some of those same shapes and same movements, and so they're able to then practice those with their letters. And then in addition, on each of the handwriting pages, they usually have some kind of letter or some kind of writing practice, as well as in the beginning, they have some more just like movement practice. And then there's usually always some kind of picture or activity of some kind for them to add additional something to the drawing and to color it, which I really like as well. So that's what we're using for handwriting. And then for language arts, this is the level 1 course book. It goes through and lists all of the lessons, the table of contents. In the beginning, it has, some at a glance and just kind of what you as the teacher need to do. We have some scope and sequence, so kind of what the book will be going through in terms of spelling and some of the other skills in this book. And then again, goes through some actual lessons. What I really like here is that the lessons don't take very long. You can just open it and it gives you a script of what you should read as the teacher and what the student should actually be doing. I like that it's all in one book. That's super helpful to me. And then every day there's a little bit of practice with reading, with stories, sight words, phonics. Over here, there's an activity where they can cut out these acorns and then they sort them into long vowels and short vowels. And the back side of that page is blank so that you can cut it out. There's also a little bit of handwriting in here, but not enough for a full handwriting curriculum. That's why I have the other handwriting book as well. And it goes through, and as you are going through the course, each day you also use some of these other things that have come with it. So there are reading books. These are just little phonics readers that go along with some of the lessons. And then these reading booster cards are basically fluency cards where they're practicing certain phonics skills, certain phonics sounds, and practicing reading words, reading things in sentences, building fluency that way by reading one word and then adding more words and more words until you read a whole sentence. And at different points in the workbook, it lets you know if your student hasn't been able to pass off certain of these cards to not move on to the next lesson until they are proficient in these. So you don't move at the same speed necessarily going through the reading boosters and the books as you will be in the actual course book, but they all go together, and this is like your main course work, and these are not necessarily supplemental, but they are extra practice for developing and learning those literacy skills. And then for math, we are also using the Good and the Beautiful. I ordered the course book just so I didn't have to print it all. And then with the course book also came the math manipulative box, as well as a little whiteboard. I have plenty of whiteboards, and I probably could have done my own home like manipulatives, but I just got it all together as a set and figured that would be the easiest. So in here, so they use the whiteboard to practice different math skills and other things that have to do with math. So that's easy, and I like that it's small, so it'll just fit nicely with our homeschool stuff. And then this box is just super nice wood box. On the front, it has a clock for when students are practicing telling time. And then inside, I haven't opened all of these all the way yet, but inside there are a bunch of different manipulatives that you will be using pretty much every day in your coursework. So there's different shapes for tangram activities. There's some different dice, one that's a traditional dot dice and the other one that has directions on it, like right and left, that you'll be using in some of the activities. There are some little boats that you'll be using with different numbers on them. You'll either be using them like as markers or in math problems. We also have, again, more clocks to practice telling time. And then we have some fake money so that students can learn the different coins and their denominations, as well as how to use them, how to count with them, and those kinds of things. So I like that all of those, again, fit nicely in this nice little wooden box so that everything can stay together. And we'll just keep this down with our homeschool materials as well. So then in the actual book, again, it's set up very similarly to the language arts, where we're going to have kind of about the course, FAQs, overviews of each unit. It goes through the different concepts that are taught, the new lessons that are taught, some parent and teacher information if there's any extra supplies that you need. And then, again, set up similarly. It has a script if you want a script, and it goes through at the beginning. I really like that it shows you the skills that you're going to be working on, and then it just goes through and has a few different activities. This is like a little math game that you're going to play with some of the manipulatives, and then there's a review page where it looks like here they're going to be coloring in this correct number of squares, and then down here there's just a little like color by number to show that they can follow directions. And then there's a little bit over here. Looks like they're matching a shape to its partial shape as well. So it just keeps going through. I really love all of the beautiful colors, the pretty illustrations that make it nice and pleasing to look at. And not just, your boring black and white, poorly drawn, poorly illustrated worksheets or other curriculums. One of the things that I really like about the Good and the Beautiful, and that they really focus on, is making things beautiful, visually appealing, and just nice and like comforting almost to look at, instead of like harsher, brighter colors. And then for Isla, my preschooler, we're going to be using the Playing Preschool curriculum from Busy Toddler. And I used this curriculum with Lucy, and we really, really liked it. Basically, it's broken up into different units. There's a lot of information at the beginning of it to kind of break down how to read a unit. At the beginning of each unit, it goes through and talks about the supplies that you need, books that you'll be reading. You can also supplement these with any other kind of books that you want. And then there's always a poem and a song that goes along with each unit that you do during like your calendar time. And then each unit is a 2-week period. And so they go through and they give you what all of the days are going to look like. It gives you what book you're going to be reading, things you can talk about. There's a learning activity, And then there's an easy activity that you can do if you want extra time, if you want an extra something to do, but it's not like required. Something that I really like about this program is that it's very play-based and uses a lot of materials that you're probably just going to have around home. And it focuses a lot on just playing and learning through experiences instead of sitting down and just doing workbooks and drilling. So we really like that for our preschooler. Okay, and then for the art for my girls, I just really wanted us to be able to have lots of supplies on hand to do any kind of craft or activity I might come across, or if Lucy is interested in something, we can just create some kind of craft or activity for them to do. So I wanted to restock a little bit of my craft supplies just to make sure I had things on hand. So I got us a bunch of pom-poms as well as some pipe cleaners. And then I also got us some feathers, some different ink pads. Lucy has really been liking to do thumbprint art. And so we checked out a book from the library about how to do that. And she really has been enjoying it. So I got us some ink pads in lots of different colors. And then I got us some popsicle sticks because we were all out. And then I also got these little tissue paper squares. You can see kind of on the side, they're separated by, there's a bunch of different colors that it comes with. And these are just great for tissue paper, all kinds of tissue paper activities. And I like that I don't have to cut it up. And these were actually not very expensive. I'm probably going to order a little bit more, maybe later in the school year once we kind of see how much we're using them. And I'm probably going to get some kind of like divided container so I can divide out the different colors so that they are easy to grab and use when we need them. And then these are a few things that I also ordered to go along with Isla's curriculum just to have on hand. The curriculum uses a ton of dot stickers, so I got a big set of those and lots of fun colors so that we can use those for a bunch of different activities. And then there's also a lot of sensory bins and sensory play for Isla's preschool curriculum. So we didn't have any of these eyedroppers, so I got this pack of 5 just so that we'd have them for different sensory bin activities. So we're going to stop that video here today. I do still have my homeschool areas coming, including my homeschool closet and kind of the main areas in our living space where we do our day-to-day homeschooling. But this video is going to be way too long, so I'm splitting it into 2 parts. So thanks for watching my video about the curriculum that we're going to be using this year and some of the craft supplies that we have. Make sure you come back next week where I'll be showing you what my homeschool storage is looking like, as well as kind of our main living area and kind of just what our homeschool is going to be looking like day to day. Thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next week. Bye.